Hi, so this is my first video on my YouTube channel, Claudia Good Night, Good Life. I'm going to be doing some YouTube videos, short, sweet, to the point, on stand-up comedy. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Claudia Bonavita. The videos on my channel are mostly of me performing. I've started this journey only a little under 2 years. I know it sounds crazy that I have a YouTube channel, that I have videos to upload, and that I have any ideas at all. But I am a teacher for over 32 years. I just recently retired. I still, teach in other aspects. And so I thought maybe I had something to lend to stand-up comedy. When I got started, I took a class. I'm going to tell you about that class today, and that's all today's going to be about, is taking a comedy class. But I have people to thank for all of their input, their great advice, their help, their assistance with writing, with producing shows, being in shows, being on stage, everything. So those people are going to start off with Chris Murphy, great guy from New York City, helped me a lot get into some clubs in New York City. Rhonda Tenenbaum helped me with some writing and some ideas, actually was a guest speaker in her class in a college course on comedy, which was pretty cool. Marion Groden, who I just love dearly. She's an amazing comic. She does amazing crowd work. She has such a timing and an ideas for writing and ways to tweak what I've already written. She's fantastic, and I love her. She's a great friend. John Butera, who gets me a lot of work. He's a great comedian, amazing producer, and I learn from him every time I see him go up on stage. And then the class I took. So the class that I took was Stand Up University. Here's the class. And it is through Governors Belmore, the brokerage. And I took it twice. I have 2 little certificates. I have a certificate from when I took it. And yes, it's laminated because I'm a teacher. And my husband and I took it as well. We did a short little documentary that's on my YouTube channel. And you can click on that documentary to see our journey as a couple who are doing stand-up comedy together. But I have to thank Steve Lazarus, Peter Bales, and Rich Walker. The class that I took was amazing. And I'm going to tell you about classes. First of all, if you want to even try stand-up comedy, you need to take a class. You need to learn there's actually a formula for how to write a joke. There are rules, there are ideas, there are people who've been doing it for 30, 40 years, like Steve and Rich and Peter, who taught me and continue to teach me. I still perform with them, and I learn from them all the time. They really run a great class. It's organized, it's structured, and boy, do they give you a lot of time. So I went to the class, and I could just tell you how that class ran and what I gained from it. From day one, we were up on the stage. We were with a mic. We were in front of each other, the audience, and they were talking to us, asking us questions, getting ideas for jokes. I think I came with a joke the first class, and it was a keeper. They call them keepers. And if that joke is fundamentally structured the right way, and they think it's a keeper to keep in your set, they'll tell you it's a keeper. They encourage you to audio record every time you get up on stage during class. I will give you a hint, though. Get yourself a Gmail and a Google Drive, and the minute you come off the stage from your class, throw that recording up on the Google Drive. I accidentally deleted one time, and it was awful because there were so many ideas that they were giving me, and I lost it all. So you don't want that to happen. There were about 10 people in our class, and we would get up, and like I said, every week they gave us a little something to do. I'm going to say like a little assignment of sorts. And I have to tell you, the people who did the work, and my husband's favorite saying is, do the work. The people who did the work, really, it showed. And they actually went on to do more comedy. The people who showed up and didn't have anything done from last week, it showed. They got up the night of class and it showed. They weren't listening, they weren't doing what the teachers said, and they weren't working on their material in between. my husband and I like to go somewhere outside the house. We used to go to Barnes & Noble, to Starbucks, to, obviously with COVID, you're not going anywhere. You know, we do a lot of writing together where we sit and just look at topics and premises and figure out jokes. I have a notepad on my phone, my husband does too, and the two of us are constantly writing ideas down. So we spent every week with our assignment at a Starbucks, at a place, sometimes in our living room, working hard and putting the effort in. No one's going to write jokes for you, just so you know. No one is going to write you a joke. So don't think that you're going to go to a comedy class and you're going to do nothing and the teachers are going to write jokes for you. They're going to teach you how to write, teach you where to get ideas from. They're going to perfect what you already have written, change a word. Some words are funnier than others. And when we talk about writing, because I'm going to do a little video on writing, you're going to see that some words are funnier than other words. Sometimes the way you say it, how you end a joke, and so on. And again, I got this all from Peter Bales, Rich Walker, Steve Lazarus, Marion Groden, you know, Chris Murphy, Rhonda Tenenbaum, and John Butera. These aren't my ideas. They came from other people. So just know that no one is going to write a joke for you. And also, like when we took the class, we did have a young man, a high school student, who came and basically sat down and was waiting for everyone to write him jokes. And they explained that's not how it works. Do you have any ideas? Let's see if we can work with this. Let me ask you some questions. Do you have, you know, and he just dug his heels and he finally left the class because his idea was to have them write him a script and he would get up on stage and read the script. And that's not what a class is. Every week they gave us individual time. Every single person was seen every single week. Sometimes the class ran long, but I appreciate that because I got my money's worth. And every person taking the class was able to be collaborative. I appreciate that. Peter and Steve and Rich weren't the type of teachers that said, you know, oh, no, we got it. Don't say it. You know, if you had an idea, you yelled it out. If they thought it was good, they kept it and told them great idea. And if they didn't, they told you why, so that at least you learned. And it was a great class. And that's all I can say about taking a class. Take a class. Stand Up You, awesome class. If you're in the city, make sure you take a class that does all the things that I just described for you. I'll put a link to this school below. And Claudia, good night, good life.